Okay, Julien, maybe can you've talked about the European Action Plan for Social Economy. I'm not gonna ask you about like how does it look like because you somehow describe it, and probably the listeners might look into that themselves. But can you maybe explain why is it important to you, or why is it important to have this kind of framework on European level, not only these local rules and regulations, but on the European level?
Well, so indeed, end of 2021, the Commission adopted the EU Action Plan for Social Economy. And I think it's firstly important because it puts social economy on the table. It really increased the visibility of social economy. It shows that it's an important sector that adds value, that respects people and environment. And I think stakeholders at the local level are really eager to see this kind of visibility recognition. I think this is first important because it has this kind of symbolic and recognition value. Second, it has also very practical aspects that will help people on the ground to better achieve what they're already doing today. So in the action plan, you have mentions of financing tools. You have commitments to undertake some actions like mutual learning workshops for officials in order for them to know better social economy. We have promised to establish a youth entrepreneurship policy academy. We did it. We have promised to open a new website for gathering all the information about social economy. We did it. It's the EU Gateway for Social Economy, and so on. And also in this action plan, we have committed to push towards member states, so gathered in the council, so the representative of the 27 member states, to push a draft proposal for recommendation, a council recommendation. And we did it, and this recommendation has been adopted by the 27. Of course, it's not binding, but still there is a pre-pressure now for member states to implement this recommendation that, in essence, ask member states to develop, in all sense possible, social economy on their ground. And they have now a bit less than 2 years to put a strategy on the table for this. So, yeah, I think this is important. Even if it is at very high level, it will scale down to local level where, and I'm pleased to see that, it seems to be a very strong support and a great help for them to have this kind of high-level political commitment.
Yeah. This is something I wanted to ask or follow up on what you said, because you were talking about the raising the level of recognition of this social economic topics. And like at one point you were talking like that maybe the members, the EU members, need to hear about the possibilities. Like here you have some kind of framework which you can build on. So if you don't, or if you haven't yet, this is something you can work with and work upon. But I've somehow felt that somehow it's also recognition within the EU structure, you know, to be aware of this topic and maybe think about it not only like, okay, right now we're doing some kind of recommendations on this social economy, but maybe to think about this topic more broadly and put these small pieces into some other regulation recommendations, you know, to think about the topic and somehow try to anchor it within the EU structure.
Exactly, you're right. So the value of this kind of text, like the recommendation, is not only for member states, it's also for the Euro bubble. Indeed, the social economy is being increasingly known and recognized at EU level, and it's easier for us than before to insert the concept and of social economy in different legal texts, be it regulation or directive or strategy documents. Think, okay, you know, you want to achieve these goals, like be it waste management or recycling or other things. Don't forget to mention at EU level in your text that social economy can be a tool for that. Or when you have support program for SMEs, don't forget to mention that social economy actors are eligible. So indeed, it also helps us to have this text in order to reach other services. We call them DGs, Directorate Generals. So it's not only stuck in DG employment or in DG grow. We can go to other services, telling them a bit more. Okay, social economy is not so much not known as it was before. It becomes a bit more mainstream. Yes.
So generally speaking, when anything happens in the EU, you can say, look, we have some kind of recommendations already on this social economical aspect. So maybe look into that and try to pick some pieces and implement it in your regulations or recommendations.
Precisely, that's the point. Yes, we have some legitimacy now to indicate that social economy can be a useful tool, and that they need actually very little support for being effective. So it's sometimes, I take a sensitive topic, which is inclusion of migrants. Social economy is a great help for inclusion of migrants. You can design, of course, wonderful public strategies for that, but with public structure, and they are needed, of course they are needed, but you can also count on social economy to fill in the gaps, or to have some probably middle or major roles to also help to this inclusion. So yeah, it's helpful, and I hope that we will see many positive developments in that side in the coming years. A lot already happened those last 4 years, but much more can be done. Let's see. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.